Looking for a women's perfume that makes sense on Amazon? In this ValueFinds Top 7, we are checking designer and popular fragrances for bottle appeal, scent style, gift potential, and everyday wear. The links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Let's start with number 7. At number 7, we have Good Girl Blush Elixir by Carolina Herrera. This is a fragrance for people who like a feminine perfume with a polished bottle, a dressed-up feel, and a scent profile that can work for dates, evenings, special occasions, or when you simply want something more memorable than an everyday body mist. With perfume, I would always check the concentration, size, seller, return policy, and whether the listing is sold by a trusted source. Fragrance is personal, so the safest way to judge it is by thinking about the notes you usually enjoy, how strong you want the projection to be, and whether you prefer something sweet, floral, creamy, fresh, or warm. I would also think about how you want the fragrance to feel in real life. A perfume like this can be beautiful when it matches your wardrobe and routine, but it may not be the best blind buy if you dislike sweeter or more noticeable designer scents. If it is a gift, the bottle presentation helps a lot, but the scent still needs to fit the person. I would check reviews that mention longevity, projection, and whether buyers describe it as soft, bold, powdery, fruity, or floral. Next up is Valentino Donna Born in Roma. This is one of those designer fragrances that feels fashionable, modern, and giftable, especially because the bottle has that recognizable Valentino studded look. It makes sense for someone who wants a perfume that can feel elegant without being too old-fashioned. Before buying, I would compare the exact version on the Amazon page, because flankers, intense editions, eau de parfum versions, and different sizes can look similar at a glance. Also check whether you want a fragrance for daytime, evening office wear, or going out. Born in Roma is the kind of perfume people usually consider when they want something stylish, feminine, and easy to wear. Another thing that makes Valentino interesting is versatility. A good designer perfume should feel special, but not so difficult that it only works once a month. If you want one bottle for dinner, daytime plans, vacations, and dressed-up moments, pay attention to how reviewers describe the balance. I would also check if the listing says intense, original, or a specific flanker, because one word can change the scent profile a lot. For gifting, this is one of the more visually impressive bottles. At number 5, we have Yves Saint Laurent. YSL fragrances are popular because they usually feel refined, recognizable, and easy to connect with a dressed-up lifestyle. This pick is for someone who wants a designer name with a more premium feel, whether it is for personal use or as a gift. I would look closely at the exact product's title and bottle size because Yves Saint Laurent has several famous women's fragrances, and the shopping experience can get confusing if you only look at the brand name. Check the concentration, ounces, seller rating, and packaging details. If you want a fragrance that feels elegant and brand-forward, this is one of the most natural names in the list. With Yves Saint Laurent, I would also look at the buying confidence side. Popular designer perfumes are often copied, so seller reputation matters. Check whether the listing has clear photos, consistent reviews, and a return policy you are comfortable with. I would also think about whether this is a personal signature fragrance or a gift. A more recognizable designer name can feel safer for gifting, but the safest perfume is always one that matches the recipient's usual taste: fresh, sweet, floral, warm, clean, or bold. Number 4 is Versace Bright Crystal. This is a classic option for people who want something bright, feminine, fresh, and very easy to wear. It is the kind of fragrance that can make sense for spring, summer, daytime, work, brunch, or casual outings because it does not need to feel heavy to be noticeable. Versace also has strong bottle appeal, and Bright Crystal is instantly recognizable because of its clear bottle and oversized jewel-style cap. Before buying, compare the size and concentration, and pay attention to whether it is eau de toilette or another version. If you want a safer designer fragrance that feels clean, pretty, and gift-friendly, Bright Crystal is a very practical pick. Bright Crystal is also a smart option if you do not want the fragrance to dominate the room. Some people want a perfume that feels attractive, but still easy around other people, and that is where fresher designer scents can make sense. I would consider this for someone who prefers lighter perfumes, office-friendly scents, or fragrances that can be worn often without feeling too dramatic. If you want huge projection and a heavy evening scent, this may not be the lane. If you want pretty and wearable, it fits very well. At number 3, we have Mugler Angel Nova. This is the kind of perfume that stands out if you like fragrances with personality. Mugler is known for bold bottles, memorable scent profiles, and perfumes that do not feel generic. Angel Nova can make sense for someone who wants a more playful, sweet, fruity, and attention-grabbing fragrance rather than something barely there. With stronger perfumes, I would think about where you plan to wear it. Some scents are perfect for nights out, events, and cooler weather, but may feel too much in a small office or hot day. If you want a fragrance with more character and a bottle that looks great on a vanity, Angel Nova is a strong contender. The main thing with Angel Nova is expectation. Smuggler fragrances can be more expressive than quiet, minimalist perfumes, and that is exactly why many people love them. If you enjoy compliments, playful sweetness, a distinctive bottle, and a scent that feels less basic, this is worth comparing. If you prefer very clean, barely there fragrances, it may feel too much. I would also check whether you are buying for warm weather, colder weather, daytime, or night, because bolder perfumes can change a lot depending on temperature and setting. In second place, we have Victoria's Secret Very Sexy. This one is for people who want a fragrance that feels confident, warm, flirty, and more evening-focused. Victoria's Secret perfumes are popular because they are easy to understand, easy to gift, and often feel more approachable than some luxury designer bottles. Very Sexy is the kind of name that tells you exactly what mood it is aiming for. I would compare it if you want something for date nights, going out, weekends, or when you want your scent to feel more noticeable. Check the size and product type carefully because Victoria's Secret also sells mists, lotions, and different fragrance formats that can look similar in search results. Very Sexy also makes sense if you want a perfume that is easy to understand without reading a long note breakdown. The mood is part of the product. It is not trying to be a quiet, fresh laundry scent. It is trying to feel confident and attractive. I would compare it with Bombshell if you were choosing between Victoria's Secret fragrances. Very Sexy usually feels like the more night-out option, while Bombshell is often treated as the brighter, more everyday crowd pleaser. That difference can help you choose. And at number 1, we have Victoria's Secret Bombshell. This earns the top spot because Bombshell is one of the most recognizable Victoria's Secret fragrance names, and it fits the idea of an easy gift, a daily signature scent, and a fragrance that many people already associate with a bright, feminine, confident style. It can work for someone who wants something more playful than formal, but still polished enough for everyday wear. As always, check the exact Amazon listing, bottle size, and seller details, because fragrance listings can vary a lot. If you want a familiar, crowd-pleasing women's perfume that feels simple to recommend and easy to wear, Bombshell is the one I would compare first. One important note, the link should always be checked carefully on Amazon, because Victoria's Secret listings can include different scents, sizes, and bottle styles. The name in the listing, the image, and the selected variation should all match before buying. For this top spot, the reason Bombshell makes sense is simple. It is easy to recommend, easy to gift, and familiar enough that many people know the general vibe. It is the kind of perfume that can live on a vanity and get used often instead of feeling too precious. That wraps up this ValueFinds women's perfume selection. Before choosing, compare the exact fragrance version, bottle size, concentration, seller, packaging, and return policy on the Amazon page. Perfume is personal, so think about whether you want something fresh, floral, sweet, warm, bold, soft, daytime friendly, or evening focused. Also remember that body chemistry, weather, and skin type can change how long a fragrance lasts. If you are buying as a gift, bottle design and brand recognition help, but the safest choice is still the scent family the person already enjoys. Check recent reviews, verify the selected size, and make sure the listing matches the perfume you actually want. You can find every Amazon link in the description and pinned comment.